Hey, human! Hope you're not a Lalafel, cause it's time to bend the knee to your newly crowned character design queen. Ah, I can hear you now. Lucy, does that mean you're really good at making Final Fantasy XIV characters? No. I, too, make generic catgirl number 69,420 each time I fire up the old creation screen, like the rest of the common folk. However, I fancy myself a character psychologist of sorts. I have no doctorate, but even if I did, that wouldn't make my opinion more valid because anime-style graphics are a different breed for which science has no data. So pop a squat. Yes, the same kind of squat that is the default male Miqote sit stance, because I'm about to get deep inside your noggin, and I'm gonna expose your darkest secrets to the entire internet. Oh, and if you only want to hear about your own character, race, and gender, I added chapters to help you out. Now, without further ado, let's get started, because the only bush I like to beat around is your mom's. Now, you guys get a lot of hate. People say you're basic. I'm here to tell you that's not true. You're not basic. That title belongs to female Miqote players. More on those subhumans later, but let's continue. If you play a male, there is a 20% chance that you have considered using a Fantasia so that you can look like the canon Warrior of Light, and a 1% chance that you have literally done this. While you are not basic, it is possible you think that Hyur is the default race, and that it doesn't make sense for the Warrior of Light to be anything else. Which is, you know what? We could unpack that, but I'd rather throw the whole suitcase away. Thancred is probably your favorite scion, but not the Realm Reborn flirty version of Thancred, because you can't relate to having self-confidence. If you chose max height Hyur, odds are that you're also a Highlander. Perhaps you get some sick sense of superiority from being taller than 90% of the other characters. Honestly, I've never met one of you that didn't have anything mean to say. But usually it's because I died to something really stupid and I kinda deserved it, but I'm just trying to understand why. If you play a Midlander guy, your main goal in life is to get a hug from a cute girl and have her say that she loves you. Same. But if you play a Highlander, you are probably already drowning in puss. You don't know your ideal rotation because who has time for that when you have a wife and kids at home? But you'll still do better than your Midlander can somehow. Overall, I give your vibe a 6.5 out of 10. You're chill, but stay away from the cat girls, they will corrupt you. If you play a female here, I know you're all using the same face option because it's the only one that won't cause you physical pain from gazing upon it too long. Try to think of any female heres that are plot relevant, and honestly, they're almost all dead, annoying, or villains. At least that last part gives you a type of step on me mommy energy that the others lack. You survived the massive players who started out with your race by saying, "Cat girls? That's so cringe. I'll never be a cat girl." And then went cat girl the very second they got the free Fantasia. If you're a Midlander, your personality is very down to earth. A little more introverted than your average Joe. If you're a Highlander, you are all of those things, but your appeal is strong, and the only thing that rivals those pixelated milkers is the size of your heart. Overall, a very respectable choice, but you don't know the first thing about glamour, so you just put on the spring dress and call it a day. Your goal in life is to remain unbothered, so I suggest marrying rich. You're probably one of the few people who could scam a multimillionaire into marriage with your femme fatale nature, so best to start looking now. I rate you an 8 out of 10, but if you're going for the villain vibe, aim more Yotsuyu and less Fordola, you feel? Perhaps the reason I don't play you is because you remind me too much of my sad loner life here in the underworld. Your horns are bigger than mine and it hurts. You have, a very special vibe. And by special vibe, I mean you inspire all the monster f***ers to come out of the woodwork because the devs decided to validate them. Whether you're more dragon or lizard is up to anyone's guess, but the one you personally ascribe to determines where you are in the monster lover chart. Like, would you kiss a vampire, or are you wanting to get down with a xenomorph? Whatever, I mean, at least you're not furries. But the bar is still extremely low, okay? Male aura. You guys have a waist for days, but you are simultaneously the stereotype of oonga boonga, me male, me bigger than girl. I could hold your entire waist with both of my tiny girl hands, so watch your tongue. People think you're But are you really? Yeah, you are. Your favorite anime character is Sasuke. You are personally upset that we didn't become actually evil and Shadowbringers. Almost none of you are Reigns because it doesn't match your edgy, dark aesthetic. Don't even try to argue here. But while I'm dogging on you, your race is by far the one that causes the most intrigue about your, equipment, I suppose. Your best in slot, if you will. Like, are there scales? You scaled up? Are you actually in her guts? Or are you ripping them out on accident? So I guess that's a weird flex, but stay humble because it's more morbid curiosity than actual attraction. Your main goal in life is to be perceived as cool, so try any job other than Dark Knight, because every time we see you playing it, the only thing going on in our heads is wake me up! I rate you 4 out of 10 because 4 means death in Japanese, which is edgy, and I'm sure you appreciate it. Female aura. Imagine being this short. I definitely can't relate. You think you're so much more cultured than cat girls, but you're not. You're just more spiteful and you love to argue. However, you do have incredible in-game rep going on if you play Zayla. As for Reigns, sorry if you don't want to be boring. Your hair options are pretty cool. Your scales are placed perfectly for max aesthetic, even if the texture is like the tree from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like the males, most of you are former emo kids, and this image probably triggers an instinctive guttural reaction out of you. I'm bullying you, but I vibe with you. I am just as cringe as you are. I still listen to My Chemical Romance. When I was a young demon, my father didn't exist. That's it, I've got it! This is the race of daddy issues! Solidarity, friends! Your main goal is to be important and special to someone, so I suggest actually going outside and interacting with people instead of staying shut inside your house all day because relationships go both ways! I rate you 7 out of 10 because you were 7 years old the last time you felt loved. I feel sorry for you. You were thinking Legolas. You were thinking this big bitty elf girl from this anime that no one remembers. Instead, you get Giraffe and mid-puberty teenage boy syndrome. They did you so dirty. I don't know about you, but when I think about fantasy elf races, I'm picturing elegance, beauty, wisdom, and I'm not convinced there's a single thought going on behind the faces of these character models. I'm truly sorry for your loss, but on the bright side, you are very dedicated and loyal. You refuse to give up on the race that has given you nothing but pain. That type of brand loyalty means everyone should fear having you as an enemy, because you do not forgive. You do not forget. If you're playing a male Elezen, congratulations. You fit right in with the main cast. But how does it feel to know you can't make yourself anywhere near as pretty as Amaric or Estinian? How many of you are switching to male Viera in November? Be honest. A lot of you play one of the OG jobs. Plenty of Dragoon Elezen guys out there. You usually have a lot of headcanons for your Warrior of Light. You care about game lore and love to remind people that Elezen, according to the story, should be the most populated race. I won't lie. I feel like if I asked you to hold my gil purse, you wouldn't even steal the gil. You would just take my ID out and save it for later purposes. Your main goal in life is to be respected, so I suggest picking a different race. I rate you 5 out of 10 because at least you're nice people. Now, if you're playing a girl, your models are a little bit better, but you're still serving lots of neck. On the bright side, that makes you instantly more appealing to us blood-sucking demons. You have strong vampire vibes. Real Castlevania stuff. If your models are weird, your voices are elegant, and your emotes make you seem like royalty. You're subtle about it, but you like the royal treatment, the red carpet being rolled out just for you. And your dream is to retire at the age of 25 because you have rows and rows of simps waiting to pay you for feet pics. Pretty sure there's some Rule 34 for that somewhere. Zelda is your Super Smash Bros. Main, and God, I hope you one day embody the same cuteness she has. The good thing about you, though, is I've never seen a female Elezen who didn't know how to play their job at least semi-well, so that makes you extra rare. Since your main goal is to live off of simp bucks, I suggest you Fantasia to a Highlander or Roe-girl. As you can see with Elezen, all roads end in death. I will rate you 6 out of 10. You're cool and all, but looking like a female Alucard is less cool, more uncanny valley. That is one big elephant in the room. Are you gonna say it? Cause I'm not. I don't want to get demonetized in the parallel universe where I am actually monetized. The fact some of you complete degenerates got Yoshi P to beg you to stop using mods, even though this race is the monster he created, that's a meme that's never gonna die. And though most of you play the race with innocent intentions, you are all bona fide memers. I mean, how could you not be? There is absolutely no way you can take anything seriously in cutscenes when even Alphano could punt you across Eorzea with one kick. One small kick for man, one giant improvement for mankind. Nah, I'm just playing. You're all very cute. If you play a male Lalafel, you are a Giga Chad in real life. You have absolutely nothing to compensate for, nothing to prove. You know you're cute. You flaunt it. One day your parse will be as pink as your ever-blushing cheeks. However, you are impossible to take seriously. No, Teleji Adeleji, if that even is your real name. I am not going to do anything other than laugh at you. It would be so easy to destroy you, and yet the devs insist I must sit back and pretend to find you scary. You are about as scary as an overfed cat. However, I believe the pros outweigh the cons in this case. Your main goal is to do it for the lulz, but I suggest steering clear from jokes that may enter you on the FBI's most wanted list. I rate you 6 out of 10. Solid like a potato. You knew that word was coming. If you play a female Lalafel, stay off Discord, and if you do go on Discord, don't talk to mods who call you kitten. As opposed to your male counterparts, you are extremely wholesome, and yes, your ability to make any outfit adorable is impressive. You're played by Yoshi P, so that gives you some real street cred that the other races must acknowledge. Whenever I see you, I want to protect you from all the harm and evil in the world. Actually, you're so cute, I want to strangle you. Google it, it's called cuteness aggression. I'm not weird. Despite all of you being good people in the story, you scare me far more than male Lalafels. You always play healer, so when I do something stupid and die, please have mercy. Like the guys, you are all memers, but you don't do it for the lulz. You do it for self-gain. In fact, all of the people around you are little more than tools meant to bring you higher status in life. The friends you choose are far and few between, but you'll defend those friends to the death and sell the rest to Satan for a single boiled egg. Horrifying, but understandable. Your main goal in life is to flex your superiority, so my suggestion is to stop clowning yourself by playing healer and pick up tank, preferably warrior. Look at her. She is the tank now. I rate you a 7.5 out of 10. Please navigate the internet with caution. I will shut the naysayers up right now. You are the only valid one here. Yes, even the green skin... You know what? Especially the green-skinned kings and queens. My hot take is that your race is better designed than the Elezens. I know it's hard to hear, Elezen mains, but it's the truth. Highlanders are good and all, but they want to be you, and they never will be. You are unique. You are rare. But does that mean you deserve a cookie because you made an original choice for once in your life? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I'll give credit where it's due, just no cookies. I don't share like that, bro. If you play a male, sure. You might be compensating for what you lack in size, but you are not compensating for spirit. You are pure and powerful. Check it. Put those two words together and you're the big PP. You know how to make other people laugh, but unlike Lalafel boys, you are actually pure. Even if no one is thirsting for you, you don't care. In fact, maybe you chose male row specifically because no one would send you a tell asking for ERP. The stereotype is true. Most of you play tanks, but I appreciate that because you're usually passable and will actually use your defensive cooldowns. I speak for all healers when I say thanks. There is a small percentage of you with bad vibes, but they are the minority. Your goal in life is to be the hero, but you have a weird obsession with being the unappreciated hero. So my life advice for you is to never watch redo of a healer, ever. Don't need someone like you getting ideas. I rate you 9 out of 10, but only if you have green skin. Otherwise, 5 out of 10. Now, if you play a female Roegadyn, you embody an energy so rare that scientists are studying it as we speak. It may be charted as a new element on the periodic table, right next to gold, because you are of equal, if not greater value. Do you have mommy energy? Yes. Do you have femdom energy? Yes. Do you have girl boss gatekeep gaslight energy? Yes. Do you have access to one of the best hairstyles for females in the entire game? Also yes. You never lose. You stay winning. Your representation in the storyline is is small, but very strong when it's there. You literally pulled Urianger, a crusty old man who thinks he's Shakespeare when I was convinced he didn't even know what women were. Men make fun of you, but when you stand next to them, they go, where's the peg, mommy? In real life, your charisma is unmatched, but people are too intimidated by your prowess to approach you. Your goal is a simple one. Like any suburban middle-aged mom, you just want to live, laugh, love. Don't we all? My advice is to stay away from clout chasers, because some of the people around you just want to get close in an attempt to steal your king energy. I rate you 10 out of 10. Please adopt me. Dang, bro, you got the whole squad simping. The reason you can't wear hats is because the devs had to nerf your appeal somehow. But you work with what you have, and you have a lot. If you play Viera, you believe in the power of aesthetic, and you wouldn't bother playing a game if you couldn't thirst for the main character. The devs never even wanted to include you, so they created the bunny suit, but players still demanded it so much that it finally happened. Man, if we're not a community of cocks. If you play a female Viera, you have power over men, and you greatly enjoy it. Even if you're a man behind the screen, you enjoy the feeling of being desired for once in your life. Yes, like the female Hyurs, you also have step on me energy, but yours is far more potent, because you don't need to be a villain to achieve the same result. One day, they will make a job based off of those heels. The step on me job, STP for short, unlocked in the Asm step. Unlike everyone who complained about Viera being too tall, you are not afraid to tower over midlanders. It gives you a thrill in the pit of your chiseled little tummy, doesn't it? You have mastered the art of being mean and beautiful. You are old enough to remember the influence of Playboy. But your variety knows no bounds because Zeppla HQ represents your race, and her personality is so kawaii sugoi desune that I can't say you're all rude with a straight face. Some of you just like bunnies, and for that, you have my understanding. Your number one goal in life is to be so intimidatingly beautiful that no one approaches you, so I suggest not choosing this face, it's bad. I rate you 8.5 out of 10. I can tell you guys are eating your vegetables. No, Mil Viera is not out yet, but we know what they look like, and we all know who wants to play them. Now hold your horses, I'm also a bun boy in the making, so give me a chance to explain myself, my fellow degenerates. If you are a male Viera, you are either a gay man, a weeaboo girl, a femboy appreciator, or a bi man in denial. The first category is self-explanatory. Keep doing you, my guy. We love to see it. If you're the second, you are valid, but I'm gonna need you to stay away from the male Miqos. I can only imagine the utter destruction that boy Viera and boy Miqote will cause, but I'm certain it would be realm-shattering, and not in like the climax kind of way, but the apocalypse kind of way. I fall under the third category, and I am not afraid to say it. I think everyone else is just lying. There's no right or wrong way to be a man. All men are kings. And the femboys are no exception. If you are the fourth category, I pity you. I just want you to know, no bro, you're not the only one who re-watches the cross-dressing cloud scene 10 times before bed every night. I'm just honest about my reasons for doing so. Loud is just cute. It's time to wake up, my guy. Your main goal in life is to confuse other people, and in that case, none of you need to change anything. You are absolute enigmas to 90% of the Miqote girl player base. I rate you 10 out of 10 because pretending not to have bias is for betas. Alright, furries, come get y'all juice. The textures on this race are kinda bad. You can't change your face without changing your hair, which means the esthetician is borderline worthless to you. You also don't have access to many hat options. So, while the devs decided to feed you, the fodder they've chosen is low quality and loaded with artificial hormones. I must admit that my opinion of furries has been quite low for some time, but I have come around to the fact that you possess a certain energy, a certain je ne sais quoi, a real don't give a f style that I can really vibe with. You're a furry, everyone knows you're a furry, but we're all too scared to say anything. You know what? I've decided I like the cut of your jib, bud. That's why I salute all of you when I see you in a dungeon. Yeah, you're repping the degen furry crew, but you do it with pride. More than I can say for the self-deprecating Miqote mains. If you're a male Hrothgar, you are a very simple person. You like what you like, and no one can give you shit for it because criticism goes right through you after 4 years of being an outcast furry in high school. You are either an incredible player who parses orange, or you're absolute dog shit. There is no in-between. But if you parse high, you're very low-key about it. And if you're bad at the game, you also couldn't care less. Most of you are friendly and willing to give advice. The type of people who should be mentors but are too humble to accept the Burger King crown. Your main goal is to succeed, not for your own glory, but despite all of the people who have wronged you. My suggestion is to settle for less than what you deserve, because Yoshi P will never fix Hrothgar. It's not gonna happen. I rate you 5 out of 10. Not my type, but you're like a retail manager who gives you crap on the job, but will defend you from Karens. Female Hrothgar are not in the game yet, but here's my prediction. You are from 4chan. Please seek immediate help. It's not too late. I believe in you. 3 out of 10, case dismissed. Excited because it's finally your time to shine? Aw, poor kitty. You're not used to being last, are you? You are the most populated race in the game by far. Cats are an invasive species in most places, and Eorzea is no different. I do have to rag on you for having ears that barely even qualify as cat ears, though. Like, what even are these? Pathetic. The tail you chose also says a lot about you, so here's a speed round. Skinny tail? Degenerate. Fluffy tail? Mega degenerate. Lion tail? Extreme super ultra degenerate. A lot of people clown you because the choice you've made couldn't be less original if you tried. But here's a hot take. Things become popular for a reason, and I'd say Final Fantasy XIV went right past Femro Gold and struck Minecraft Diamond with this race. And a lot of you do your best to stand out from the crowd with different hairstyles, skin tones, facial markings, all that jazz. So while your choice is common, he who is without sin must cast the first stone. So I guess that means the Roegadyns will be picking up Conjurer instead of you for once. If you play a female Miqote, where do I f***ing start? They shouldn't even bother giving you a biddy slider because most of you crank that shit up to max without a second thought. I am also an appreciator of big biddy, but come on. Not all of us can be that well endowed. Please think of the anime demon girls at home who you're making feel inferior. I'll be real with you. A lot of you are weird. It's like you never left your Hot Topic MySpace XD so random phase. When I see one of you come within a 10-foot radius of my character in Limsa Lamenza, it activates my fight or flight response. 10% of you are masters of glamour. The other 90% pop on the 2B outfit and call it a day. By your hand alone, the Mog Station makes absolute bank. Artists become zillionaires on your generic art commissions. Now that's a lot of bad, but is there a trace of silver in there? Anything that redeems you at all? Yes, that's right. You guessed it. It's Misshapen Chair. That's it. You really need to work on yourselves, though. He can only drag up the mean so much. Fine, I will compliment you. You are a big reason behind the game's success. Some people will say it's Yoshi P's dedication, but honestly, it's all you. The sheer dedication you have to glamoring your girl with Mog Station gear and taking G-pose photos of her every single day is single-handedly funding the dev's retirement fund. Something about you is oddly wholesome, even though so many of you are disgustingly lewd. But like, yes, you're cringe, but you're my cringe gamer. My suggestion is to go for the male Hyurs. I warned them to stay away from you, but for the ones who ignore my advice, they deserve what's coming for them. Go rock their world and crash their bank account. Destroy the ERP stock market. I rate you 7 out of 10. Just don't show me your mod list. I really don't want to see it. Male Miqote, thank you for existing. I understand we are just as horrible as our sister Miqote, but we are degeneracy with spice. A little cinnamon sprinkled on top of a boring whole milk latte. Just take our default pose, for example. Other people will make fun of your rigid claw hands, but real players understand that this is Chad stance. Hands constantly poised to grab booty or choke a man out. You can be handsome, or you can be ooh-woo. You can even be a filthy old grandpa. And soon enough, many of us will depart for the greener grass of the male Viera Isles. Fear not, for I will be a part of this mass migration. Let us give thanks to the male Miqote for what they have done for us, and show our appreciation to those who will stay as one come Endwalker. Your default Sid is memeable, your ear emotes are stunning, your in-game representation is flawless, and I wish you nothing but the best, kings. Now, as for your personality, you are extremely chill but also very excitable. It's not that you're bad at the game, it's just that you have the attention span of a toddler and there's a lot of shiny stuff to look at. But if the game took place on like a one-dimensional plane in pure black and white, you would parse 100 every single time, no question. Your main goal in life is to be here for a good time, not a long time. So my suggestion is to invest in some life insurance, because I know y'all don't fear death or God. I rate you a 9.5 out of 10. We do have some Discord groomers who need to be weeded out, but it'll happen all in due time. Now that I've given you all of my hot takes about your Final Fantasy XIV race, it's time for you to go now. Get out. Skedaddle. Mommy has a bunny boy benchmark to play with. No, there's still a wrap. Oh, cat girls, you know I love you. Love making fun of you, more like. Cat girl meows up to me, says she's got a place to be. Onto Limsa Square, so Hyur can bend her over knee. Bias is wrong. I won't complain for long, guess I have to cope with all these modded kitty schlongs. All of you degens don't deserve a regen. Live and let live, you're speaking while you ooh every weekend. Stop, I will block. Come close and get clocked. Don't let me catch you post and crunch all over TikTok, you laughing stock. You have made it to the end screen. Thanks for watching, friends, and don't forget that you can like, comment, or subscribe if you want to. As an American demon, I do believe in the freedom of choice. Caw, Freedom Eagle.